First reading, a reading from the second book of Samuel, chapter 7, verses 4 to 5, 12 to 14, and 16. But that very night, the word of Yahweh came to Nathan. Go and tell my servant David, Yahweh says this: Are you to build me a temple for me to live in? And when your days are over and you fall asleep with your ancestors, I shall appoint your heir, your own son, to succeed you, and I shall make his sovereignty secure. He will build a temple for my name, and I shall make his royal throne secure forever. I shall be a father to him, and he a son to me. If he does wrong, I shall punish him with a rod such as men use, with blows such as mankind gives. Your dynasty and your sovereignty will ever stand firm before me, and your throne be forever secure. This is the word of Lord. Thanks be to God. Second reading, a reading from the letter of St. Paul to the Romans, chapter 4, verses 13, 16 to 18, and 22. For the promise to Abraham and his descendants that he should inherit the world was not through the law, but through the uprightness of faith. That is why the promise is through faith, so that it comes as a free gift and is secure for all the descendants, not only those who rely on the law, but all those others who rely on the faith of Abraham, the ancestor of us all. As scripture says, I have made you the father of many nations. Abraham is our father in the eyes of God, in whom he put his faith, and who brings the dead to life and calls into existence what does not yet exist. Though there seemed no hope, he hoped and believed that he was to become father of many nations in fulfillment of the promise. Just so will your descendants be. This is the faith that was reckoned to him as uprightness. This is the word of Lord. Thanks be to God. A reading from the Gospel according to Luke chapter 2, verses 41 to 51. Every year, his parents used to go to Jerusalem for the feast of the Passover. When he was 12 years old, they went up for the feast as usual. When the days of the feast were over and they set off home, the boy Jesus stayed behind in Jerusalem without his parents knowing it. They assumed he was somewhere in the party, and it was only after a day's journey that they went to look for him among their relations and acquaintances. When they failed to find him, they went back to Jerusalem looking for him everywhere. It happened that 3 days later they found him in the temple, sitting among the teachers, listening to them and asking them questions. And all those who heard him were astounded at his intelligence and his replies. They were overcome when they saw him. And his mother said to him, My child, why have you done this to us? See how worried your father and I have been looking for you. He replied, Why were you looking for me? Did you not know that I must be in my father's house? But they did not understand what he meant. He went down with them then and came to Nazareth and lived under their authority. His mother sorted up all these things in her heart.